Hello, class. I hope you can hear me well. I'm at the lobby of hotel right now. But hey, let's talk about this week's material. As usual, this topic was pretty rough. And let me acknowledge of all the topics that we have covered so far. We've talked about physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, substance misuse, mental illness, separation, death, and now adoption and foster care. So I want to acknowledge how what a ride this course has been. It's been eye-opening in many ways. I personally feel lucky to live the life that I did. You know, having an autistic brother was rough, but the rest of the family stuck together because of that. We shared this burden, and it was a burden out of love. I would say this is most compared to growing up with someone with a mental illness, but this is different from something such as adoption and foster care. This is something I can't relate. Why? Because there was always someone for me telling me that she loves me and that I was worthy. So this is different with adoption and foster care, where you don't have someone, reassuring you that everything's gonna be okay, that you're gonna end up being fine. So I don't have a lot of knowledge or experience with adoption and foster care. I know two people who got adopted, and let me tell you, in Costa Rica, adoption is a complicated process, and I think that's because of child trafficking. So in the two cases that I told you, pretty much the family that wanted to adopt had to make an arrangement with the other family, and basically they left the baby at their doorstep and left. But nowadays, if you claim to have found a baby in your doorstep, you could go to prison. So it's the two options. It's either children growing without parents or the possibility of child trafficking. So, to go to the question, what are some ways to strengthen and support families of origin to help prevent the children from ending up in the foster care system? Honestly, well, I don't know. I did some research and I still don't know. This is a really difficult topic. You know, families are the most fundamental unit of society, but they're also the most fragile. There's endless ways or possibilities or events that may destroy a family. And supporting the family of origin is not always the best option. And I'm thinking of the case of the girl in the closet, Lauren Cavana, that she wanted to be adopted by another family, but then the birth mother ended up claiming her. It was a little more complicated than this, but basically that's the story. So the foster parents gave the girl back to her birth mom, who proceeded to lock her in the closet for several years. So the judge was very quick to say that that maybe the mentally not so sound mother with substance issues was the best caregiver for Lauren, when it was a complete nightmare for her. Ended up being tortured and raped and many other evil things. So in this case, clearly the birth family was not the option. And it's not an easy choice because life is too hard and expensive and children just pop out, so in many cases. So what I think would be, from everything that I read about, the the most important things, the most things that could actually help would be early intervention and support, which is to have a system or a program that identifies families at risk, or where families at risk can approach, and they get early services to address issues before they escalate. And This could be, for example, financial aid in the case that it's needed, because I can believe that reasons for not being able to care for a child are in many times they're related to money, but also like parenting education, counseling, access to community resources, and I think in general, making childcare affordable is the best method of keeping families together, because raising children is very expensive, especially in America. I've, I'm sorry, I'm a little sick right now. I know that in America raising a child is extremely expensive, and in many other parts of the world too, especially in higher income countries. So this is what I think: early intervention, affordable childcare, and there's many other resources. But I think these two are the ones that could potentially help keep a family together, a family that is disintegrating. Now, what do you think? Let's post in the comments. Bye.